Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra and I am here today to continue the series of looking at my deck collection in little groupings to see what can I declutter, just to look at things more deeply. It's part of my depth here. And so today we're going to be looking at my astrology themed decks. I have some big thoughts about some of these, and for those who are watching, I'm filming these all in one, so all in one shot. So I have a lot of thoughts flowing. So we're going to start nice and easy here with my Starseeker Tarot. And this tarot itself is not strictly speaking a astrology deck, but the work I use it for is astrology based. And I use this deck for my year ahead spread work. And this deck, God, I love it so much. It blew open my practice and it blew open my mind. And I use it to look at astrology specific things with tarot. So I use it in conjunction with my next deck you'll see in a minute, and I look at the cosmic energy, because astrology is cosmic magic to me. I look at the cosmic energy and I explore it with this deck specifically, and I really like that because this deck is so ethereal. I adore the color palette of it. I've been using this deck to build my themes in my journal. It has been 6 months and I am not sick of the moody colors yet, which is saying something because I get sick of things pretty fast. But this deck is just so stunning, and it's so ethereal and dreamy. It has shaped a lot of my views on some tarot cards, like just what it says in the guidebook. This has been a transformative deck, and I got it in a Say Yes to the Deck, which I'll link that video up above where Lisa and Peggy helped me pick this. I love it so much, and that's what I use it for. I use it every month to do my astrology based work, and I do kind of sometimes miss you reaching for it more, but at the same time I really don't, because I have a decent sized collection. It's not huge, but I think I've got quite a few decks, and I just, in filming the naturey ones of this series, which is linked up above, I just kind of really realized how much I need and like to have my decks for a specific thing. I know if I want to work with this deck, it's for this kind of thing. So this deck I reach for I reach for this deck for times when I'm using tarot to explore astrology themes. And there are lots of opportunities for that. Like, I use this for my Venus return readings that I'm doing right now, because I'm in my Venus return period. If I want to do for my solar return, for my moon returns, all of these things I use this deck for, along with my year ahead spread work, because I look at that with my astrology. So that is what I use this for. This is in no danger of going anywhere. This is one of the most solid decks in my collection, and I use it a ton for my work. I do offer readings where we look at your personal astrology using tarot, using this deck, and you can check out my website. I have some just plain tarot readings. I also have some just plain astrology consultations. I've got lots of stuff. Check it out. It's down there. That's my Starseeker Tarot. It is not going anywhere. But the deck I use it with is this guy. And this is my Heavenly Bodies astrology deck. And like, even just like, look at the backs. Tell me those don't look like they go together. Like, come now. And actually realizing I had bought this deck and realizing it would go together with the Starseeker is what sold me on the Starseeker. And Lisa, when we did that Say Yes to the Deck, Lisa knew what I was developing my year ahead spread. I was developing it to offer it to the public. I had been working with clients, but I was working on getting it ready to offer it more widely. Lisa knew that, and she was like, oh, the ways you could work with them together. And it's just, I'm constantly getting new ideas of how I can use these two together. So these two are some of the most solid things. And this is what really helped me learn how much I like pairing tarot with an oracle deck. I like building deck families. And once I've built a family, then I really learn how to work with it. Like, trying to work with an oracle on its own is really hard. I can work with tarot on its own. Speaking for my personal work, reading for others is a vastly different thing. I can work with tarot on its own, but it's just like, I'll sit there and look at the decks longingly, like, I want to play with it, but I don't have a reason to play with it. I don't have anything that makes me think, oh, I should reach for those, until I get pairings. And then once I get pairings, I know, like, my Starseeker, I do miss reaching for it, and I can always choose to reach for it whenever. But I also know I'm going to use this deck regularly because I know what its purpose is. So that's those. And those are both completely solid in my collection, and they're not going anywhere. This is a smaller category. And the next part's one that it's kind of hard and requires thinking. So these are the last two things I have in this category that I want to talk about. In this bag, which I love this bag. In this bag is my Oracle of the Radiant Sun, which I colored to go with by the different planets. And in this bag, which I also really love, I love this bag so much. How stunning is this? In that bag is my Moon Oracle. And both of these were made by the same couple. And I don't know what to do about these two, and it really bothers me. So let me put the Moon Oracle aside for a minute. I don't have a pairing. Like, yeah, I can work with them together, but it's not, I think about working them together and I get no ideas. And that's a thing, because the thing I love about the pairs is when I see pairs together, I start feeling inspired. Like, what made me realize it from the Naturey video, like I said, that's up there, you can go check that out, was that my animal allies would go perfectly with the tarot fauna. And I paused the video to look at that, to confirm that. And as I looked at the tarot fauna through these new eyes of how can I work with the tarot fauna and my animal allies together, I started to get these ideas. I started to feel inspired. This deck, I got this because I wanted an astrology deck and I'd seen it and I loved it. And then the fact that it had an oracle by the same person, I bought them together. But This deck bothers me. And it bothers me because this deck is built using the 12-letter alphabet, which is a thing in astrology that you can see down here, where you equate a sign to a planet to a house. And those are all different aspects in astrology. The problem is using the 12-letter alphabet when you are an actual practicing astrologer, or you're just trying to work with astrology, it conflates the meanings and makes things really squidgy. Like here we've got the sun, Leo, and the 5th house. And the way the 12-letter alphabet works is the sun equals Leo equals the 5th house. So it gives this impression that the meanings of the sun are also the meanings of Leo, are also the meanings of the 5th house. And even though the three are connected and there's some overlap, it blurs the lines of the definitions between the things, and it makes it a lot harder to work with astrology. Now, and I learned that since purchasing that. And a lot of people use the 12-letter alphabet and it works for them, because astrology is one of those practices like tarot where lots of people do it different ways. I can't work with the 12-letter alphabet. It does not work for me. I don't like it. I would not personally recommend it as an astrologer. That's my practice. That's my recommendation. So this deck, which I do love, like it's shitty cardstock, but it is fun to shuffle. Oh man. This deck, I bought it, and this actually is what started the wheels turning of what my year ahead spread package that I offer developed into. I was using this. Until I got this. And once I got this and the Starseeker Tarot, like I had a few months left with my clients using this, and I still asked their permission and switched over to using these because it flowed better. It felt right. It gave that feeling of, yes, this is it. This is what I've been trying to do. So I feel like my time with this deck is done. And that's hard. Oh, that is so very hard to admit. And I don't know if I'm going to use it for artwork. I don't feel super attached to this art style to want to use it for artwork. So I guess I'm just getting rid of this one, because this is a astrology oracle. That's what it is. And so is this. And this one's better. That one does use the 12-letter alphabet too, but it's not done in such a direct way. It's more workable. This one, it literally has, like, it literally doesn't separate. Well, like, it keeps the signs connected. Like, this is a card for the moon in Cancer or the moon in the 4th house. Or the sun in Cancer or the sun in the 4th house. And they are not the same thing. The sun in the 4th house is not the same thing as the sun in Cancer. And that, it makes me mad because it's not the same thing. It's losing a whole bunch of the nuance. So I guess I'm ready to let this go. I don't know how to let this go because it's a mass market deck. And I have trouble with mass market decks. Because I'm in Canada, shipping is expensive. But if you want a copy, this one, the way I edged it is to match the planet. So this is a Mercury card, so I edged it in yellow. This one is a Venus card, I edged it in green. So, and you can divide the deck that way and work with it that way in a more organized fashion. But it looks really cool when it's shuffled up too. Anyways, I mean, if you're interested in any of the mass market decks I have, so like if you're interested in this and you want to help support less waste in the world, you could just pay for shipping and I'd happily send it to you. Just shoot me an email at thecraftedwitchery@gmail.com. But I guess this is going. I do have the box it came in and the guidebook, which I can put back together. I'm sorry, you can't have my bag. I'm not getting rid of this bag. I don't know what I'm going to put in this, but I'm not getting rid of this bag, which is fine because this bag was too large for this deck anyways. But this bag is staying. I'm sure one day I will find something to put in this bag. But then the question becomes, what about this one? This one is much harder. Okay. All right. Let me put this aside. Okay. This Moon Oracle is much harder because unlike the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, this one I bonded with. I used to use this one, and currently I have it organized by the type of card. I used to use this one for my moon readings. And it was phenomenal. I loved it. I don't do my moon readings the same way anymore. And what happened was I was working with this one and I got an idea. So that's all the goddess cards. And I got an idea. And I asked a client if they would be willing to be a guinea pig for a reading. And I did the reading with this deck. And afterwards, I swear to God, yes, I personify my decks. It's like it was mad at me. It's like it got mad at me and didn't want to work with me anymore. And ever since then, it's been a disconnect. And that's been going on 2 years. I've tried working with it many times because I love it so much. I love this deck. Those were the Moon Mansion cards, and these are the Moon Cycle cards. I don't think I'm ready to let this one go. But I don't know how to work with it. And I don't know what I would pair it with. I don't currently have a tarot deck that I would like to pair this with, and I have none in mind. There is the Elemental Tarot made by this same couple again, which I did want, but I have no interest in it now. So, and one of the reasons I want to work with this is because I am a Cancer rising sign. The moon is my chart ruler. I was born on a full moon, yada, yada. I've said all this before if you've been here a while. The Moon Oracle is specifically for working with the moon. And it has moon mansions, which is a moon-specific astrological practice. So I'd really like to study this, is what I would like to do. I'd like to study this. I'm keeping it. And even if I do get rid of this one day, I'm never getting rid of the bag. You can't make me. I'd like to study this one and see if I can't find maybe a tarot deck to go with it. I'm not ready to let this one go yet. And that's it for that category. I just had the 4, now 3. So I'm getting rid of the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Again, if you want it and are willing to pay shipping from Canada or within Canada, whatever, just send me an email down below. And I can let you know what other mass market decks I have available at the time you email me, so you can make like a good deal for yourself for shipping. This does shuffle really nicely. But yeah. Anywho, so that is the end of part 3, group 3. Let me know in the comments down below if you would have done anything differently. Can you think of a tarot deck that you think, art style or whatever wise, you think would go well with this? If you do, let me know. I'm not super big on like super old-fashioned arty decks, but the way this one is kind of cartoonized a bit, makes it work for me. I actually hated the art style until I got this specific deck. So who knows? But let me know if you have any recommendations that I can check out and research. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to let me know if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification and check out the description box where you can find my website and my email address and all that there good stuff. And I will see you again soon. The next video coming up is going to be my super spiritual decks. Ones I use a lot in my spiritual practice. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you again soon. Lots of love. Bye.